Okay. Well, today we're talking about Command Your Consumer app and Command Your Consumer experience. Um, and we're going to kind of run through it, some of the ground rules. Welcome to Zoom, everyone. I'm sure you're probably familiar with it at this point, but I'd love for some interaction. When you are not talking, make sure you use that mute button so that it stays quiet and we can hear each other. Post any questions or ideas you guys have in the chat. That chat box is awesome. And answer questions if you know the answer. I am one person and there's plenty of you. So for me to try and communicate with all of you through chat and teach a class is very difficult. So I'd love your help and participation on those chat box if you have the answer to someone else's question. Sound good? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Well, before we dive in, there's always lots of great resources. One of the best ones I want to make sure you all know about is KW Connect. You go to the technology tab at the top and then Command Your Business. There's tons of live videos and live streams and things like that in there. There's also the KW Utah YouTube channel where this recording will be posted and lots of other resources. So if you have any other resources, drop them in the chat channel, but lots of places to get on-demand resources if someone's not available to teach you. But we're going to dive in and talk about the consumer experience. How many of you have downloaded and played with the consumer app at all? Maybe a little handful of you. Awesome. Well, that's one of the beautiful things is we have an end-to-end ecosystem and it's very exciting as is, and it's getting even more exciting as time goes on. But it really does create that one platform where you as an agent can collaborate with your clients in the entire transactional process. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up your app and website, and then we're going to dive in and talk about getting that out on your clients' phones and how that's going to be able to help you to really maintain a much deeper relationship with your clients and run that at a much higher level. So we obviously know that your clients' journey is about 3 to 7 years on average between the time they buy a home and the time they will next transact in real estate, buy or sell. The top of that graph, as you can see, the red dot at the top of that timeline is the day someone buys or sells a home. That red dot at the bottom, that's the next day, because that is the farthest someone will ever get away from the next time they transact in real estate, right? So our goal is to remain omnipresent in their lives and to continue to provide value and be their real estate expert and their real estate, advisor throughout those 3 to 7 years, not just as they're nearing that next time they're going to transact, but throughout time. Let's talk about pillars of communication. Have any of you read the book, The 7 Levels of Communication? Handful of you. Tell me about it. Taylor, I know you've read it. It's a book you actually recommended to me. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no. It's a fantastic book. It just talks about between the 7 layer levels. Of course, stronger ways that we can build relationships with people and how we should pursue to have as many strong relationships and focus on the people who, we can exist with the highest.
Absolutely. And our goal as agents is always to stay in touch with our clients and our database at a higher level, right? We want to be there when they are ready to transact in real estate. And so obviously we do things like a 36 touch, and a 36 touch will cover pretty much every level of these 7 levels of communication. Obviously in person being the highest level of communication. It's really hard to beat an in-person face-to-face conversation, right? But that's the thing with the app and phone calls and texts and email. Email's probably our lowest form. So the more we can drive people to the app, the more we can drive them to in-person or face-to-face, over the phone conversations, or even text messages, the deeper we can build that relationship and the more omnipresent we can be. So some of the things your consumer can do on the real estate app is they can search for real estate. They can save standout homes to collections, so they can favorite their favorite properties. They can create different collections. They can hide homes they don't want to see anymore. They can share those collections with other people. They can collaborate with co-buyers, follow along in the guides process, and learn what it's like to live in a neighborhood. So some of the features that we're going to talk about today is actually setting up those guides, because that's one really unique thing that the Keller Williams real estate search app has that no other app out there has right now, is a guide process. I think that's something that absolutely has us standing out from the crowd, is the opportunity that you can keep your buyers and sellers up to date on the entire real estate transactional process, from searching for a home all the way to closing, right in the app, and just by you managing that transaction in your opportunities. So I'm going to jump out of this slideshow and share a different screen with you. We're actually going to jump in. So this is Command. So all of your consumer experience is managed right down here in Consumer. Now, before you dive in to start setting up your consumer experience, I want you to all go in and make sure that your marketing profile is up to date. So you're going to go up here to your name, you're going to click on Settings. When Settings opens up, you are going to go into Connect Settings and your marketing profile. Now I want you all to take a few minutes to go through that at some point today and make sure that this is up to date, the way you want it to look and and that all your information is correct. Your bio in here, all that type of stuff, brokerage logo, license number, all that type of stuff. Once you have that set up and all ready to rock and roll, you can come over here into Consumer. Now, there are two different things you need to set up in your consumer experience before you can really start launching this and getting it out to your clients. The first is going to be your website, and the second is going to be your app. So in order to set up your website, you'll click on Consumer, you'll come up to Site and App Settings, and then Learn More with Kelly Guides. The first one is Agent Site. So you'll click on Agent Site, Continue. You're going to go ahead and leave that page. And this is going to take you into the Kelly Guide that's going to walk you through the entire setup process of your consumer-facing website. So you can go ahead and click Get Started. You can go in and fill out. This will take you probably a couple hours if it's the first time you've ever done it, to go through and really build out a robust website. If you want just a simple, very clean website, you can do it a lot faster than that, but you do have the ability to go in and add a lot of different landing pages and marketing and things like that. There's quite a bit of customization you can do to that. So you can change the hero image of what shows up on your website and all that type of stuff. Again, you'll confirm your marketing profile information that it's pulling in here is correct. And then you'll save and continue. So in the Kelly Guides, always on the right-hand side is going to be where you're actually editing things. On the left-hand side, you're going to see what that looks like on the actual home page. Any questions on the website Kelly Guide? I take that as a no. Awesome. Well, if you do have any questions, let me know. But you can go through and you can add information about your team, your brokerage, kind of however you want to market and brand your business. Once you're done with the Kelly Guide, you have launched your website. You're going to actually come out here. There's one final step to make sure that it actually brands to you. And that is you'll come back under Site and App Settings. And you want to make sure that this checkbox is green. So your website is going to default to the Keller Williams website. That's just the generic branding for Keller Williams International, unless you have this checked. If you have that checked to use my information to brand my agent site, then you're telling Command that you have gone in and filled out all of that marketing information so that they can brand the website to you and one, have it show up clean and look nice, as well as make sure you're staying compliant with the brokerage logo and all that type of information on your website. We want to make sure that no one gets into trouble. So once you have filled that out and gone through that Kelly Guide, make sure that that is green so that it's actually branding to you. Make sense? Awesome. And then the second setup process is you're going to click Learn More with Kelly Guides again and go to the consumer settings. This is where you're going to go in and actually update and modify your Kelly Guide, or not your Kelly Guides, but your buyer and seller guides for your transaction process in the app. Now, when someone's in your app or when they're on your website, they'll be able to follow along through the entire transactional process in those guides. So if you log into your app or if you log onto your website, you can actually click on the guides portion. So on the app, it's the middle button on the bottom, and you can see those guides. And that's where you customize them here. Once you've gone through this Kelly guide once, you will be able to go back through and update those Kelly guides simply. You can update your guides, your buyer and seller guides, simply by clicking the guide builder here after you've gone through the Kelly guide once to set it up. Does that make sense? Any questions on kind of the guide builder or setting up the guides? Yes, we're recording this. It will be on the YouTube page as soon as we're done. Okay, well, hopefully that's kind of helpful information. The other really fun feature and piece you guys have, and I'm going to try and record a video explaining how to set up, but we're doing a lot of things virtually or digitally right now, right? So one thing I'm going to hopefully do a training this week or next week on is digital open houses through Command. But you can set up custom landing pages. So right here you can see I'm on landing pages here in my consumer settings. You can create a landing page for anything you want. It's simply create a new site, and then you have two options. You can create an additional page on your agent website, so that'll be in the drop down. You can create an additional page talking about additional services or things you do on your site, or you can create a standalone page. If you create that standalone page, it will take you into this builder here, where you can then simply drag and drop the different widgets. So I'm going to say I want to put a branded header on here. I want to put, the listing information. I can put in additional information about the neighborhood. If I'm doing, for example, an open house, I can put in additional text. You're going to be able to see here, I will be able to go in and edit and customize all of this information about my listing, right? So I can drag this down, move this around, build out my custom landing page. Once you've got the widgets and the blocks and content spaces you want on there, you just simply come down here to configure widgets. Then it's going to show you the different pieces you've got. So obviously it's pulling in my branding for the header from my marketing profile.
Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
So question on the widget. So I'm on my page and I'm not seeing like the listing widget and stuff. Is there?
Are you creating a new landing page?
I think I'm on maybe a new site. Maybe that was, have to look. So what's the difference between creating a landing page versus the site?
So if you create an independent landing page, this is going to be a standalone page that I can go market to people, and it doesn't connect to anything else other than just the information on this page.
Yeah. See, I went to the landing page too, and I don't have as many buttons as you had.
Interesting. You should be seeing the same stuff I am. So there's different, like on widgets, it shows me this, and then I can click content blocks. It shows me additional things, and then layout blocks.
Yeah, go back to your widgets. Yeah, you've got a lot more buttons than I do.
And that may be, they roll some things out to the regional tech trainers to test before they roll it out for actual availability, but you should have most of these widgets. So if you want to send me a screenshot after, we can dig into that.
Okay. Thanks.
And David, you asked about the brush. I've never used it, so we can play with it. I don't know what it does. So I'm not sure what that specifically edits. But that's the idea. So you go in, you drop in your different content blocks, then I go to configure widgets. I can go to listing, for example, and select my listing. So I'm just going to search. I'll just pretend this one is my listing here. Once I select that listing, it will automatically populate all of that information in here for me, so I don't have to go through and update all the information on that listing. But very simple, you can create a landing page for each one of your listings and set all of this up, and then simply save and apply. And then I can publish that landing page, right? So that I can go and start marketing this. I could create one for a digital open house or however I want that to look, like that. And then I can go market this. So I'm going to create a video and dive a little bit more in depth later this week on how to do a digital open house using landing pages, but you can create landing pages for any sort of listing or anything you want to do. These standalone landing pages are right here. You can see also whether or not they're in the draft stage or if they're inactive. I can also turn off the landing page to inactive if I don't want it available for people to go and see. And then you can kind of edit, change the URL, activate, and delete them here. Any questions on landing pages? Okay, so like I said, once your marketing profile is set up, that's homework step number 1, is get that marketing profile up to date. Then come into site and app settings and learn more with Kelly Guides. Make sure you go through the Kelly Guide for your agent site and your consumer settings once. Once you have those set up, you can tweak and play with pages and information just simply under agent site pages or in the guide builder if you want to edit those guides for your consumer app. So pretty straightforward there. Right now it is just a buyer guide and a seller guide. They are working on the functionality for you to be able to add additional guides in there. But right now those are the 2 guides they have available. The other cool feature that you have in this is you can add and delete as many of those steps in the guides as you want. So they're fully customizable. You can add your you can add client information in there. You can add vendor information in there and those types of things. So any questions on launching or making sure that experience is set up and ready to go? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know if you know this, but you know how on our previous site and then kind of traditional real estate websites, you'll have a section that says featured properties below, and sometimes the agent can select like their listing specifically. So is that something that will eventually be on the site, or are they kind of using landing pages as a supplement to that as far as promoting your listing?
You guys want in on a fun little secret?
Yes.
That feature for featured listings on your consumer site should be launching in the next few weeks. So you'll be able to select up to 12 listings to feature on your consumer website and on your consumer app. And that's a functionality you can toggle on and off in that site and app settings. You will have that feature very shortly. They don't have an exact date on it, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll see that. The other thing you'll start to see coming in the next couple of weeks is the ability to toggle Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered showing up on each one of the listings in your app. There will be a feature right here under general settings. You'll see an option where you can toggle that on and off. So it will still be available in the app for people to use, but if you want it to either show up or not show up on each listing, saying, you could save X amount on your mortgage using Keller Mortgage, that functionality will show up right here in hopefully a couple of weeks. So you will have a lot more control over what's showing up in your app, what's showing up on your website. Fair enough? Awesome. Well, that's my challenge to you guys, is go get those guides set up, go get your website launched, and then the next big piece is to share that consumer app, right? So I would challenge each and every one of you to take this link here. So if you come under settings, site and app settings, and then URLs, this is your agent branded link right here. So this is going to be a unique URL code for each one of you. Go out there, post it on your Facebook, post it on your Instagram, share that with your friends and family. And make sure that you're getting that out there to your people.
Hey, can I ask a question real quick, Jordan?
Absolutely.
So I have a couple of clients that have been using my app actively, and it's been a lot of fun.
Mhm.
but when they heart a property or they comment on the app side, so the comments show up in my command, but it's not showing what property they're referring to or anything like that. Any
Mhm.
suggestions?
That should be getting fixed in the next week or so.
Sweet. Okay.
Yep. So you should hopefully see that get resolved. They are also launching, hopefully by the end of April, they will have an additional functionality in the app where you'll be able to click and say, not only will they be able to still ask you questions about a property, they're adding a button to request a digital showing. And they'll be able to go in and select, hey, I want an additional, I would like to request a digital showing. These are the times that would work for me to do a digital showing. And then this is what, what platform or system I would like to use for that digital showing. And that will send you as the agent a notification in command showing the dates and times they would like to do the digital showing and in what platform they would like to do that, whether that's FaceTime, Zoom, or whatever platform that you guys like to collaborate on. So super awesome functionality and feature that should be here in the next couple of weeks. And that'll show up in the app and it will give you all the listing information in command as soon as they click that request to showing.
Okay, one more question. When they do comment inside command, is there a way that I can set up a notification so that it either texts me or somehow shows up at the top of the command page that I've had a conversation or something pending?
So those should all show up right here under the bell. New contact form message received from Jordan Larson. You should see all of that type of information show up under your notifications right here.
Okay.
You should also, if you have Kelly downloaded on your phone and push notifications enabled, you should get a push notification from Kelly saying, hey, so-and-so just requested a showing or so-and-so commented on this property.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
Yep. And Jen in chat, it looks like you asked, is sharing the app the same as sending them the link? Yes, if you send this link to them and they click on that link and download the app, it will automatically brand to you. So that is same thing. You can share it through the app or you can do it right there, just sending that link. There's also some smart plans that you can send out to invite people to use your consumer app. If you guys like smart plans, that's a great opportunity right there. But I would post it on social media, get it out there. People are looking for homes right now, right? People are at home, they're on quarantine, they're looking for things to do. This is a great opportunity to get this app out on their phones and get them using it and engaging in it. And I promise you the people out the gates to get the app out there first are going to be the ones who are able to really start engaging with your clients and consumers at a much higher level and keeping them in your ecosystem. So right there you can see the Promote My App Smart Plan helps you to go out and promote that app to anyone you add to that smart plan. So pretty simple app. A smart plan, it's in the smart plans library from Keller Williams International right there. Any questions about that?
Separate question.
Yeah.
So I've had a client, they were complaining about the app saying that there were some homes being shown in completely different area. And so they asked me for a different app or something else that they can use. And so I'm wondering, I didn't have an answer for them on this app. Have you heard of that? And do you know of any solutions?
We've seen a couple of those. There's like a couple random listings that are populating incorrectly. If you see that, please email me a screenshot with the listing information so we can get those corrected. We are working on getting that resolved. For some reason, it's when it's populating from the MLS, the way that they're mapping it into our app, it's if the coordinates that are put in the MLS are incorrect, it maps it wrong. So they are working on getting that resolved and getting that cleaned up, but we are seeing that a little bit right now.
Okay, thanks.
But hopefully that should be resolved quickly. Awesome. Well, any other questions on the consumer app or the consumer experience? Okay, well, that's my challenge to you guys. Go out there, set up your consumer site, and then get those guides set up and start sharing this app with your people. Get it out there, get in front of them, and help them to engage with you in real estate conversations. I think this is a great opportunity for each and every one of you. And if you have any questions, let me know. Go get them.
Thanks, Jordan.
You're very welcome.